Hi, welcome back to Spirits of Fashion. My name is Ren. I'd like to talk a little bit today about personal style. When I do my events for seniors mostly, but also different ages, lots of different people come to my different fashion era presentations. But when we talk about style, and I'm focusing on seniors, there seems to be an issue with sort of knowing their personal style now. I recently did an interesting presentation where there were quite a few women who were really into it. They really seemed to know who they were and what kind of style they liked. Sometimes it's left over from their younger years, but many times they've reinvented themselves and kind of going with a look that suits them better now. So that's what my whole point is. When I was younger, of course, I had a different style than I do today. And of course, where you live and what your lifestyle is like is going to dictate what you wear. Most of my dressing up is done either to do events, to go out with friends who like to dress up in a theme. I think I've mentioned that before. Or when I'm doing a YouTube video or trying to teach people how to style. So it really depends on your lifestyle, but although I'm not currently working full time, I'm doing this business more on a part-time level, and then the other half of it is working from home. But I always feel better when I'm dressed up and I have some makeup on, and I just do. A lot of times, I'm running around here, we're walking the dog or whatever we're doing, and I don't have any makeup on, and I just don't feel as good about myself. I don't plaster myself with it. I wear less now that I'm older. But I feel better when I have something on, at least to give me a little more color. So I thought I would talk a little bit about how that can evolve over the years. I have a book from years ago, probably the early 2000s. And what I used to do is look through magazines. And I started to tear out images that resonated with me, even if it wasn't the whole outfit. It might just be one part of that outfit. I just like the idea of how it was put together maybe, or I like the color, or I like the accessories. Sometimes it's a hairdo. So really, that's a good way to start. When I do style coaching, it's one of the first things I do is I ask the client to look through. Now there's so much on the internet. You can do that. I've just always preferred a hard copy. I love the hard copy of the magazine, catalogs, that kind of thing. I like to flip through it. I just enjoy that more. And then I can tear them out. Of course, people who are more into finding it on the computer can do things like look in Pinterest and then get a Pinterest board going for what they think their style might be now. But this book is something that I put together years ago when I was teaching, and I was trying to teach my students how to sort of find their own personal style. So I have them all in the laminated sheets. It could be hairstyle. It could be just, again, it could be a fabric like this plaid. It could be a scene that resonated with me, an accessory. There's a boot that I loved. And when I'm looking through it now, years later, it's still the same. I still would wear any of those outfits and be happy and feel like it was me. Not only did I look at fashion, though, I also looked at anything else to do with the home or what surrounds. I think not only what we wear as a personal style, but what we put in our homes. What do we like to have around us? Now, in my home, I am not a minimalist. I'm definitely a maximalist. But the problem is, it's much harder to keep myself organized with so much stuff around me. So I struggle with that because I love my things. I love my books. I've got bookcases loaded with them. I've got my desk with all kinds of things on it, especially this time of year when Halloween is my favorite and I love the fall. So I'll have different candles. I'll have different pictures and frames that make me feel really happy, especially this time of year. But I do it all year round. So what you surround yourself with says a lot about you. Now, it also messes with my head because clutter does do that. And when I say clutter, I'm choosing these things. But most people who are more minimalist would look at that and say, I couldn't work like that. But I always sort of have. And, it's harder because clutter can sort of get into your head and give you a harder time in thinking clearly. But I had a friend once who said to me, okay, you've got a cluttered desk, you're creative, you're looking at all kinds of things that inspire you. Are you getting work done? And I said, yes. And she said, then who cares? But other people would have a real hard time with that. That said, depends on who you are. Excuse me. You still want to have things around you that speak to you, that make you happy. So this smaller book, this little book, has a lot of things that's related to rooms. There's a room with a library. I don't know how well you can see that. It could be an outdoor scape. There's my fall colors. Other things, beautiful. I've always been into Victorian and sort of a French decor look. So it really depends on, what speaks to you. I love dark furniture. I'm not a light furniture girl. Look at those drapes. And I just went on and just let myself pretend I had some of these things in the house already. And you know what? A lot of them manifested. I now live in a house that have a lot of things that when I look back on this book, it's similar. So without even realizing it, over the years, I was able to manifest a lot of these things. And so I have a closet full of clothing that I've thrifted recently and for years past, and vintage pieces that still resonate with me, which is why I have so much trouble getting rid of things. I don't want to get rid of something that I still love, even if I barely wear it. So I'm hoping that I can show you some of these things on this channel and tell you why I love it, why it resonates with me, and hopefully it will help you if you're looking for your own personal style. Now, you might look at something that someone's wearing and appreciate it and say, I could never get away with that. Well, maybe you could get away with it. If you've never tried it and you really love it, I would suggest try to find something similar and just try it. If you thrift it, you're really spending so little money that even if you have to redonate it because it doesn't work for you, it's better than going to the mall or wherever and buying something really expensive and then getting it home and saying, it's not me. But some of us older folks, we do know what is us and what isn't. But I still encourage people to go a little out of their comfort zone. Just try something you've never tried before. Try something different. I'll give you an example. This piece right back here is a beautiful 60s Nehru jacket that is all embroidered and has metallic thread. It's pink and orange, silver combination. And I tell you, I would wear that anytime, any day, because I love it. Not that I'm crazy about all of the jackets of this shape, but this particular one, because it has the paisley and the metallic details, it's fabulous. And it's timeless, really. It could go with jeans. It could go with a beautiful long skirt or a pair of black cigarette pants, for example. I just love anything that's unique. So I hope that I am making sense to all of you who are trying to find the personal style of their own. Now, I will say that the magazines of today, still love them, but to me, they don't have as much inspiration as they used to. They've changed. COVID changed a lot of things, and I think it made it very difficult for people in magazines in that world to get advertisers. So they do get them, but they're usually really high-end jewelry or perfumes or really high-end designers. I miss the times when it was a mix and you'd get a lot of sort of mid-range things in the magazines as well. That's what inspires me the most, more streetwear. And it's harder to find that. That's why people suggest things like, the Pinterest and other ways on the internet. You can Google streetwear. You can find images on that. There's so many ways to do that now. You can follow other people on Instagram or Facebook whose style that you really admire. I'm just such an old-fashioned girl that way. I like to have it in front of me. I like the smell of the magazine. I like its glossy pages. It's just changed. Doesn't mean you can't get inspired. I still do. And I always dog ear the page or rip it out so that I have some reminder that, yes, I bet I could thrift something like this and put it together. I have put a few things up on Instagram on Spirits of Fashion Passion that you can look at. There's a couple of times that I imitated a magazine's suggestion of, say, a sweater with a blouse with a piece of jewelry, and I used what I already had, and that's fun for me. You can do that. You can take the magazine pictures with you and go thrifting and see if you can find some similar items to that. That's, I think, the thrill of the hunt. So if you're not sure to go thrifting, you don't want to start from scratch, but you want to sort of get your personal style kickstarted again or changed a little bit or tweaked, you can go and look in these magazines or catalogs, save pages, and then go to the thrift store and say, wow, look, I can find this for $3. And actually, instead of paying $300 for that particular piece, I'm getting something very similar in a much less expensive version. So just something to think about for yourselves. And as I said, this is my older and bolder playlist this week that I'm doing, but it doesn't mean it doesn't apply to any age who's coming and to my channel hoping to find some kind of inspiration for personal style. I'm all about that. I do work with people individually or in groups if they need help with that or with any kind of body type styles. We'll talk about that another time. Color is another big one, and I'm going to have a video on that, on color, figuring out which colors are best for you. So we will get into that at a later date, but I hope you enjoyed this video and that I'm giving you some inspiration to go out there and get out of your comfort zone. And just even if you try one accessory that's a little bit different from what you would normally wear, it won't be as scary because you will have something that you didn't put a lot of money in. It might be something you already have, or it just might be something like my little spider pin, which I was able to get at a store that's new in town where I live. And these three wonderful men who own it, and one of the men knew already that I would love this. So when he got it, he put it aside for me. And the body of the spider has two other color bodies that can replace this one. So I think it's a deep green and like a silvery blue or something. But something like that is very unique. No one else will have anything just like it. It's a vintage piece. So that's what I mean. Vintage can really be a way to find a personal style for you that's unique, that no one else will have. I'm always talking about that, but I just wanted to mention that again because something like this is maybe all you need to start out. So please get brave, ladies. Gentlemen too. If gentlemen are watching, I love to see a man dressed up in something really unique. Young men, older men, doesn't matter. It's just something that I crave to see. I really want to see people who are trying to express themselves through their clothing, their accessories, and again, their homes. You know, how you set up your home is a reflection of you. Why not be as comfortable as you can in your own sanctuary, in your own home? So with that, I will leave you until the next video. Please like, subscribe, and share if you like this video. And you can go to my website, spiritsoffashion.com, and you can get a free newsletter. If you do want me to do an event for you, you can also contact me there. It'll ask you which event you want and what your contact information is, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. So I hope you're all feeling safe and happy, and I hope you're enjoying the fall season as I am. And I will see you in the next video. Remember, style never dies. Bye.